On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 110, recorded live on June 9th, 2016. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
And my name's Tristan Sperry. You can find me at T Sperry or on YouTube at Tristan Sperry.
Perfect. So you have like a new channel, kind of? Like you haven't really done too much with it? Explain a little bit about your channel.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm kind of trying to do some vlog stuff, you know, get my Casey Neistat in right here. We got that boosted board, drone, charging wall. But, oh yeah, I moved into a new room.
Nice, yeah. So, for people wondering, I'll put a picture over right now of what your setup looked like. You were on Setup Spotlight. You had the Star Wars, the black and red, and it was a very, very badass setup. So you definitely have a lot to offer in terms of critiquing, because you went from, I remember your early photos to how it was in the final phase. What a difference. So it's going to be a good episode. So speaking of that, let's get into the first one, because this is like insane. And a lot of people on Twitter, because I posted this last night, they were either loving it or they were hating it, especially because of the second photo.
They were hating this one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what I want to talk about, because I personally love it. But so let's see. This is submitted by Michael. Michael says, "What's up, man? I'm looking to get some tips on how I can improve my setup. I'm a console gamer. I game on PC sometimes, but it's more used for entertainment." And that's really all like the hard-hitting facts about him. He also, let's see. No, that's just like specs of what he has. So with that, how old do you think he is?
Man, that's a lot of pop vinyls.
Yeah.
Let's see. I probably wouldn't be able to purchase all those at 17 or anything like that. I'm going to go with 21.
21. He is 24. So, yeah, a little bit older.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's a lot. He's got a lot going on. And it's funny because his original email was from March 11th, and it looked completely different. Like, I wish I would have included a photo. It was like crap. I would have been like, yeah, no, you shouldn't be on the show. But then he's like, hey, I made some updates, got a new desk, stuff like that. And then,
that's a clean desk.
I mean, it's an upgrade, to say the least. So what are your initial thoughts when you see the wall just plastered with pop vinyls and all this like comic stuff?
See, I personally love it. That just screams theme to me. Like, that honestly just looks so cool. Like, he's displaying what he loves. He collects pop vinyls, you know. That's sweet, you know. Yeah,
and it's funny because the chat is kind of agreeing with what I was thinking earlier. Now,
they were going to hate it?
Well, no, like, my initial thoughts when I saw this was, why is the lighting so bad? Like, it's literally just a ceiling fan. You have this collection, get some sort of, like, track lighting that you can aim down and light up the pop vinyls. He does have LEDs. I'll let you guys know that. But they're around the desk, and they're really... They're attached actually to the wall, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't look that good. I'll just say that.
Okay.
It's kind of like a missed opportunity, though, to really light up this room, get some Philips Hue, and
yeah, I think the LEDs would look way sweet. You know, kind of going on all those comics, kind of like a glory type thing. I don't know.
Yeah, shine down. Yeah, light it up. It would look really nice. But aside from the pop vinyls and everything, leave your thoughts down below. Do you think that is too much, or do you think it's not? You think it's just his theme, he's got to work with it? Because a lot of people are saying that there's a fine line between displaying pop vinyls and then hoarding pop vinyls, and I disagree. I mean, they're pop vinyls. It's not like he has feces hung up on his wall. I mean, there's a big difference. So the next question, though, is about his actual setup. What are your thoughts? Is there something that you don't like about it? Do you think it's very usable? What are your thoughts?
I think it's like very usable. Like he said, he's not much of a gamer, so 3 ultra wides, you know, entertainment factor. There was one thing. So those comics behind his setup, I honestly think if he were to, I don't know, I think of this as like, you know, the acoustic panels.
Yeah.
He's almost doing that with all his comics, which I think is sweet, to where if he were to frame some of those behind, like, I know they make like comic book frames.
Yeah.
I think it would be sweet if he took his favorite ones and framed those behind his setup.
Yeah, no, that would look cool. And that's like unique. No one else is going to have the same spread of comics that he does, you know? And I would like to know how long he's been collecting those, because, I mean, that's a lot. And you really had to, like, I wanted to know also if he thought it out or he just started, like, putting them up on the wall and hoping that it actually would fit perfectly.
Look good, yeah.
A lot of people right now, because I asked that question and there's a delay, of course, a lot of people are saying too much. I would say majority. Order. Yeah, too much. That's the main consensus here, which I don't know. I mean, it does come down to personal preference. There are the people that like, you know, one thing on their desk and they're like, that's even pushing it. That might be too much. But hey, I mean, that's what makes it fun. Everyone has different opinions. Looking at his desk, though, everything is usable. Everything's in perfect positioning.
So much space. So much room for activities.
Exactly. Especially coming from someone who has a wall full of like 500 pop vinyls, you know? It's like kind of interesting because that's what I think. He's a clean person. You could see that on his desk. It's very usable. It works. A lot of people are complaining about the PC being on the carpet. That's, you know, a little thing. Put it on the board. Something simple. But for the most part, I mean, if this was your setup, what's the next step other than what you had mentioned earlier?
Oh, gosh. See, I don't know. I might, that shelf right above it, like, I like how they're aligned, but I might just display some, like, take some out of the boxes. Like, honestly, I don't want to take mine out of my boxes, but he has so many. If he wants to display his favorite ones. But yeah, as I said, probably frame some of those, you know, like 4 of them right above. What else? Yeah, as you said, the PC, I might even move that over to the left. So then it's just not, I don't know, I might knock it over just so it's on that wall. LEDs, that is a definite missed opportunity.
Oh, for sure.
But other than that, or maybe not move the PC over, but maybe the subwoofer over.
Okay, yeah.
To the left. Yeah, but yeah, I think it just looks super clean. So.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because a lot of people, you know, they think that this is like pushing it, but then we've seen setups where people have like shelves to them. I mean, for me, a lot of people tell me, I mean, my shelves are pretty maxed out. Of course, the bottom 2, I don't really want you guys to see, so I have to kind of clean that up. But
out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people think that mine, you know, is pushing it, and I don't really have that much on my shelves. So I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely personal preference. And
when I think of this though, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if he's in a room or if this is just a designated gaming den. So if it's a gaming den, might as well. Just throw, it's just stuff you love. It's just supposed to be personality. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, if it was his bedroom, I'd be like, okay, maybe that's a little
that might
weird.
Be a little much. But
yeah, if this is just like a chill room to hang out, then like, dude, perfect. So let's go to the next setup because I know some people are like, okay, we get it. So next setup of the day submitted by Josh. Josh is from the UK. He let's see, he plans on doing major changes eventually, and he said feel free to be as harsh as possible. So how old do you think he is?
Oh gosh, 13.
He's 14. So yeah, right around that age.
I was gonna say 14.
You know, I find it so funny. Like you were mentioning Casey Neistat earlier, and I think he's definitely inspired by that because look at his little thing that holds the remotes. He had to write remotes. That's such a Casey Neistat thing, and also such a pointless thing. You know, like just in case he forgets, he looks at it, he's like, damn it, what are those things called? And he's like, remotes. Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? Does this thing work or no?
Well, he's 14. You know, okay, he needs a mouse pad. First thing, mouse pad. But no, he's probably not very big. He probably fits right in there. I mean, maybe move the desk over so your feet are underneath the monitor so it lines up. But I feel like, I don't know, there's potential. Yeah. You know, new desk, he said major changes, but as of right now, like, at least for the picture, all those boxes in the bottom right, like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's no bueno. I mean, the cable management, it's all going through the Blue Lounge cable box, which is better than just letting them hang. And he's got wire molding coming out of the TV. So he obviously cares to some extent. You know, some people are like, what do you say? No, go for it.
Where the TV is and then that wire molding, like, that looks clean. It's just everything else, like, it just... Oh, man.
Yeah, the right side.
I don't want to be mean.
Yeah, I know. You think about this 14-year-old kid sitting there like, yeah, say it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. And you're like, okay, it's awful. And you just picture them crying. But, I mean, the right side is just a joke with the, I don't know if you built that. I mean, if you built it yourself, it's great. Good job. But if your dad built it or something, I mean, your dad doesn't love you because he didn't finish it. I mean, it's like, you know, an unfinished piece of, like he cut down a tree. It was like, whatever.
Yeah, which that could be cool. Like if he got a new desk and then he was using that shelving over to the right, like that's where you can store your PC. Like I have an amp, I could store my amp in there. Like all extra stuff just goes in there, and then you have all this room just to put your monitors, your speakers, your keyboard, and all that. To where, you know, if you get a desk that will align with, you know, that shelving, I think you'd be good.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the one reason why I think that little thing, that little half desk is stupid is because it's covering your shelving unit. Like, what the hell's the point of that? So, not much else to say about that. It's not awful by any means. It's a very clean on the left side, very messy on the right side kind of setup.
Yeah. So, 14, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. He's got a lot of time ahead of him to have a badass setup. But here we go. Next setup of the day submitted by Max. Max said, let's see, I like to play Xbox, watch live streams, and check out new tech. And yeah, how old do you think he is?
I'm going to say 15.
14. So right around there. Yeah, you're getting close every single time. So initial thoughts, yay or nay?
I'm going to say nay just because I feel like there's potential, but that Pringles can. What is that? For a pitcher, man, just throw it away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the one thing I don't understand with people. It's like, why do you not clean it up before submitting? You know?
I know.
And it makes me wonder if he thought that maybe because a lot of people do like DIY stuff with Pringles cans. Little do we know that might have like some crazy ass reason it's there. But as far as I'm concerned, it should be in the garbage. Just like a lot of the stuff on the right side. It's like people have good actual desks for their monitors and stuff, but their side desks just kind of go to crap. Which is what we're kind of seeing here. I mean, he said he likes planes, and he's got little planes up on there, which I think is cool. He's got the stuff up on the wall, which, you know, adds to his personality. But what do you think when you're looking at the photo that's straight on, looking at his monitors? Is it too cramped, or what's going on?
It's a little cramped. I feel if he got one of those stands that holds all three and then attached it to the back, I don't know if he can do that, but that would be a lot better. The speakers are just, you know, they're supposed to be upright, and then they're just kind of on the side, but he likes to play games, and I don't know, I need room to play my games.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, why is he not utilizing that right desk as his primary? And I think there's
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I see is maybe all three monitors don't fit as much, but still, I don't think he needs to utilize all three of those. I think there's definitely a way he can make it work. But yeah, that desk on the right is nice, but the one on the left is also nice. It's just they're not necessarily made for his odd display of three monitors.
Yeah.
So
we're having some glitching out right now.
Glitching. Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good now.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I think if he were to got, you know, that one stand, he might be able to put it on that second desk and then maybe fit all three. It'll be a tight fit, but that might be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot he could do for sure. It's hard because the inside of me, I just want to say, both desks aren't going to work. Get an L desk that fits that corner. But it's like,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
actually.
He's 14, so it's not like he's rolling around in money, because if that was the case, I think he would have done that by now. So it's kind of difficult.
One thing I did was, so I got just an IKEA desk. I got the longer one instead of the thicker one. But I also went and I got the 8 shelving unit, and I tilted that on the side. And then I used that, like I took out a shelf and I used that to like store all my stuff. So I think if you were to do that, you know, use the one desk and then get just a shelving unit, like you can store your Pringles can in there. How about that?
Yeah, and that's probably on the top of his priority list. So definitely a good thing you mentioned that. He's probably running right now to IKEA. But yeah, so I mean, there's not much else to say about that setup. Speaking of not much to say, the next one, it's like the next setup, I have a lot to say, but then I think about it, I'm just amazed by that desk. It's just it's insanely beautiful, and it makes me like want to not critique the things that I don't like. But anyways, Grayson from Toronto, Canada, studies visual art at an art secondary school. He does illustration, graphic design. You can check him out on Instagram at grayson.hou. And he does, he has a custom built PC for PC animation, graphic design, video editing, blah, 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 blah. And he also has a MacBook Pro. So I know a lot of people are going to question what he has. It's PC, MacBook Pro, and even an iPad Pro. So with that in mind, how old do you think he is?
The desk sounds like, I'm probably going to guess. I'm going to say 23.
He is 16. Which is insane. Yeah, I look at this and I think way older, you know.
Yeah, that desk, like, usually older people, like my parents, they like that dark wood. And so, yeah, I mean, immediately just think older.
Yeah, and especially to be 16 and have a space, like an actual office where you can fit a desk of this size is insane. And, I mean, just because the desk is beautiful doesn't mean the setup is great, because when we look at the close-up of it, I mean, that monitor is squeezed in there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what are your thoughts on this setup, like, in terms of usability?
It's kind of cramped, like, I don't know, keyboard, but now that I think about it, he's just doing graphic design, so it works. He has tons of room, uses the MacBook, iPad, like, I don't know. I think he can use it just fine. Like, I think he'd be good.
Yeah, because he's not gaming.
I should have known he was 16. Should have known he was 16 with that Yeti.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, you know, young people make bad decisions all the time.
Yeah, bad decisions. Oh, my gosh. At least it's not the snowball.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been, like, even worse. But, yeah, I mean, what you said is exactly what I was going to say, because he's not a gamer. He doesn't need his hand to move around the whole desk. He doesn't need, like, full breathing room. Like you were saying before, when you game, you need a lot of room. And he doesn't. He's sitting there. He's, you know, has one hand glued to like the home row, and he's just hitting keyboard shortcuts. But for the most part, just moving his hand around, doing whatever he has to do for graphics. But then the beautiful part of it is that he can turn around, and literally behind him, he has a ginormous place to do his work, which is awesome. And I really, really like that part of it. Even the other side, you know, it houses all of his other, you know, devices for portability and such. And he still has a lot of room left on the shelves, and he's got tons of drawers, and it's not awful. It's really not awful. It's pretty badass considering you're 16. So if this was your setup, what's the next step?
Honestly, I would just focus on like all those shelvings. Like for theme, I think I gave it a 6 or a 7. Like it doesn't have really theme, but I was just thinking like this is some place you go to get stuff done. And so you know, I might just put stuff like, he says he's into graphic design, like print off some stuff that you've actually done and display it. Like that would be cool. Like I love displaying stuff that I've done. Like right over here, I don't know if you can see it, but in my room I just have a bunch of like stuff that I've done. And so
it's awesome.
It
makes it yours, you know, no one else can have it. So why not fill the room? Like, is that bird, like, I'm going to assume that bird's something he's done. I mean, it's up against a window. I mean, maybe hanging up on the wall or something, but I totally agree with that. Get some like picture frames for your desk and, little things like that. Definitely a good idea. But let's go to the next setup. This one is submitted by Nathan. Nathan says, hi, my desk was custom built. Okay, that's all we know about him. So I do have his age, though. How old do you think he is?
16.
16. He's 13. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I wish I had all this.
Exactly. I mean, another kid that has an insane room just for his gaming. Like, that's insane. I love those ceilings that they're like, sideways tilted. I forget what's the technical term. Is that vaulted or something?
Vaulted.
Yeah, something. And I know some people hate it for their setup, but it's kind of cool. It's like his little cave.
I think it adds personality.
Yeah, it's just like a nice little dimension that gives it a little more like, oh, that's badass. But taking a look at this, initial thoughts: is it crazy? Is it crowded? Is it good? Or what do you think?
I think it's just missed opportunity.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he has so much room and just, I don't know, like wire management, all of this is just kind of like dumbing down this setup. It could be so cool. Like, I have these same 2 monitors, 3 monitors. And so, like, I use these 2. I got, a single mount for it. I put that in the back. Like, it looks cool. They're floating. And so I think he should try to do that. I don't know if he looks like he has money to blow.
I was going to say, a lot of people right now are like, bro, he might not have that much money. It's like, are you looking around the room? Because I think he does.
Go talk to dad. Like, Dad.
Yeah. Just need the card real quick. Just real quick.
Yeah. Real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and the desk is easy to cable manage, and don't. Yeah, I see some people are like, dude, his cable management's pretty good. Like, okay, you look under the monitors. Yeah, there's no cables because they're all routed along the actual desk, and we're seeing them, and they're all like, all over the place. It needs to be cleaned up.
To the left.
Yeah, it's not that hard to clean. Like the lightsaber, I like where you're going, but I think it could be done better. I know it's hard with that kind of wall, but what would look cool if you mounted the lightsaber going at the same angle as that ceiling along the corner, and then it frees up room right there to put art, and then the left side there's a lot of room for art. You got to kind of work with the area a little bit more, clean it up. And that computer case, like, get some LEDs in there. You got the lamp on the right side that has some cool different bulbs. Get some more colors in here. Kind of light it up, make it look good.
Get rid of that box.
Yeah, but, what even is that?
Probably his keyboard box, but I think like, this is a crevice in his room or attic, I don't know, but it would be so cool if he just, like, the first photo, he had all his comic books. If he just made this his den and just, like, littered the walls with cool stuff, got another lightsaber and did what you said, and LEDs would look pretty sick on this desk, I think. But yeah, I just feel like you can do so much more with all the space that you have and cable management. For sure. It's just those coming out of the computer, those are just bugging me right now.
Yeah, exactly, because they could be fixed very easily. Yeah. But yeah, so any final thoughts for that setup?
No, I think the desk is sweet. He just needs to, I don't know, add a little bit more theme.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah.
All right,
but
cool.
I could see him coming back on the show and scoring, like, probably getting first.
Oh, yeah. So. Easily. Most of these setups can be fixed, and they could get an insane score. It's super simple. So, speaking of insane score, does this next one get an insane score? Well, when you first look at it, you might think, damn. And then you look at the next photo, and you say, damn. Because, like, he's got, an insane racing simulator, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, before we get into that, his name's Joey from Taiwan. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Just stuff that he has. Taiwan, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he's just kind of saying what he has in the setup. So if anyone has questions, let me know. I have an email with all the things that he has. But anyways, taking a look at this, how old do you think he is?
I'm going to say 18.
27. So, yeah, I mean,
okay.
These kind of setups, it's hard to narrow down because it's like, okay, they're older, but how old? You can't really, narrow it down like a 14-year-old. So initial thoughts, were you like blown away, or were you just kind of like, oh, that's cool?
Yeah, at the beginning, honestly, I didn't even see the second photo. Mm-hmm. I didn't even look at it.
Oh, really?
But yeah, now that I see the second photo, that's freaking sweet. But yeah, I think it's cool. Like, initial thought, it looks sweet, but then you kind of look like a new desk would tie things together, I feel like.
Yeah. And
looks like 4 desks just shelves put together.
Yeah, like ghetto rigged, basically. So,
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, at first glance, it's a lot of cool stuff. It's a lot of, like, oh, wow, that's not like that DX Racer. I love the back of that. Like, it looks awesome. Really nice racing simulator. Super cool. It's on wheels. Wow, so cool. But you look a little bit closer and you're like, okay, first off, the speaker placement is awful. If you're not going to use the rear speakers properly, don't use them at all. You got the middle, the left, and the right squeezed together in the middle above the monitors. Kind of defeats the purpose. On the racing simulator, you can, I don't know about that specific one, but I had the Abuto, and I was able, if I wanted to actually mount rear speakers to it. So you might want to look into stuff like that. That's like the first thing. And I get it, you like your DX Racer, but the lumbar pillow shouldn't be on the shelf. I mean, maybe if you really want to, you can. But to me, since I know what it is, it's kind of like, why is it there? But I mean, if you want to do that, you go for it. So other than a new desk, what's something that's like sticking out to you that you don't necessarily like?
The desk. It's just literally all I can say. No, this speaker placement, like, I don't know, nothing's really on the wall. It's just on that shelf. I don't even like that shelf above it. Yeah. To be honest. And then also he has his keyboard on the desk, and then below it he has that little pull out keyboard thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty sure you can unscrew those, but whatever. I don't know. I feel like he has all this stuff. He just, I don't know. Cable management too. Yeah,
my initial thought was, dude, if he had either like wall mounted the monitors, or at least like an arm of sorts, it would look 10 times better, because the monitors would be a little bit higher up, which maybe I can't really tell, but I feel like that would be a little bit more suitable for his height. Again, I don't know how tall you are, but based on the chair, like maybe a little bit higher up would be good. Plus, you might be able to fit the speakers underneath the monitors at that point. The desk, you get one piece. You don't need 55 pieces like, you were saying earlier. Just one nice piece. It attaches, tons of room. The subwoofer will be able to breathe. Maybe you can display the PC a little bit better, because it looks like you have it amped up with some LEDs and stuff, which is always, badass to show off. And I think if you were to do that, I also don't really care for the shelving unit above. So if you were able to raise the monitors, you kind of get rid of that shelf, put some art above it. And I think that's like really what needs to be done next. You have all the actual tech equipment, but you don't have the beautiful, like, I look at that and say, wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah, just a new desk, the monitor like stand that you were saying, like, I feel like his gaming experience could increase dramatically. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that subwoofer probably rattles his whole desk as he's racing, so it gets some whatever. He's going over a bump, and the subwoofer's rattling his desk. So
I'm surprised real life that hasn't effects. Yeah, I'm surprised that subwoofer hasn't torn apart that piece of furniture yet. Like, you listen to one good song and done. Like, it just looks like it will blow that thing apart. But yeah, so any final thoughts?
No, just get a new desk. I've never seen that mouse pad before. It's kind of cool, honestly.
Let me see. Yeah. What is that?
For your whole arm. That's kind of weird, but
I'm trying to see.
I think you have all the stuff, but let's just get a new desk. Worry about, just cosmetic stuff now.
Yeah,
I guess.
Exactly. All right, next setup of the day. Submitted by what did I put there? Oh, John. There we go. He goes by something else. But yeah, his name's John, and he's been making this setup since January 8th, 2015. Just in case you're wondering the exact day, January 8th, John said, I'm going to do this, and he did it. How old do you think he is?
12.
12. He's 16.
Okay.
So does that change your thoughts, or do you think that it's like, do you think it's good for 16 or what?
I think I was no, I've seen better on the show at 16, but yeah, honestly, I said it at the beginning. I thought he was younger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my initial thoughts is like with the baseball stuff, and I don't know, it just kind of looks a little bit younger, especially because he has a GameStop receipt on the wall. I don't know what the hell that's for. He's like, yeah, in case I ever need to return this, I'll just boom right to the wall. It looks like he's got some tickets of sort, and you know, of course, everyone's got the GTA map up on their wall. Everyone had to at some point, you know. And then the actual desk is not bad at all. Cable management's not really awful, except coming out of the PC, which can be fixed, and, you know, clean up behind the monitor a little bit. But for the most part, it's off the floor, you know.
Yeah, he's so far, like, looks like he was standing on something, and then you can still see the rack. So I'm like, I think I docked him on that because that thing's bulging.
Yeah, it's either a Signum that's crying for help, or it's hopefully a net, and we'll just pretend it's a net that has some bending to it, because otherwise that Signum, one day he'll be sitting there and it will just cut his leg open. He'll be like, oh my god. Yeah. I mean, the little nightstand thing on the right side, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's ugly. I'm sorry.
That was supposed to be in the last photo.
Oh yeah.
Last setup, but oh well. I really hope that PC does not fall. He might as well just move it over to that shelf if he's going to use it. But
just do it.
I would honestly just scrap that, the shelf, get something else. Like it looks like he could do like an L-shaped desk if he wanted. But yeah, on the wall really needs some help. Like maybe frame those and like all those, I don't know, make a collage out of all your baseball stuff. That might be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, baseball. What really can I say?
Yeah, no, I agree. A lot of people are saying just skip the setup. That's what a majority of people are saying.
I was lenient on him because I thought he was younger. So
knowing that he's 16, comparing it to other people who are 16, it's like, oh, that's interesting. But I mean, it really just comes down to usability. I don't think it's really the best placement of the PS4 and all that fun stuff. And I also think that the walls could use a little bit more work, like you said. Do a collage, make it look pretty. You know, figure out how you're going to actually use the setup. Do you want that nightstand there? If so, put the PC on it so at least there's more breathing room on the desk. You know, figure it out. But let's go to the next setup before everyone starts crying. This setup is submitted by Eric. And actually, he didn't know anything about the show. And what happened was he posted his setup on PCPartPicker.com, which I know a lot of people are familiar with. And people on the forum were like, hey, dude, submit to Pimp My Setup. And he did. And he got a fast pass to support the show, which, if you guys don't know, you could skip the line with a fast pass. I appreciate it because, you know, it's supporting the show to keep it going, but also, you know, you get your setup on quicker. So a little bit more about Eric. He's from Toledo, Ohio. He works in IT as a project manager and former IT guy in the Air Force, which is awesome. And the desk was custom built by himself, and he did it so that he could hide all the cables. And he also has a 1080 in his build. I think that's the first for Pimp My Setup. You know, X34 Predator, and he loves the gunmetal look of the case and everything. So with that in mind, how old do you think he is? Obviously, he's a little bit older.
Man, do I go high or I'm going to say 27.
Oh my God, 29.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pretty close. So when you look at this, what were your initial thoughts?
Clean. Just looks, honestly, it looks amazing. But I feel like that picture and that shelf are just kind of like weirdly placed.
Yeah.
To where if he were like that Family Guy, or not Family Guy, South Park poster off to the left, if he were to get like a few more posters that size and just continue on like that wall behind his setup and probably align it between the ceiling and that desk, like kind of go in the middle. I think that would make it look a lot better. But like for the desk, it just looks amazing. Got the LEDs underneath, like just a few. It just looks clean.
I love it. I think there's like the lighting looks really, 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 really nice in this room, which I don't know if he's got multiple lights set up, but that's one thing I always notice. Like most people's rooms are really dark, and his, you could tell it's really nice and bright. Very simple to use. He sits there. There's no distractions really. I agree though about above. And like, you know, behind his monitor, like that needs more work. The perk bottles and all that, like that's badass, but I don't think that's necessarily the best spot. If anything, I would have put that where the South Park poster is, with the other little photo above it or below it, and then the South Park poster behind the, like above the monitor with more posters or shelves of stuff. Because on the right side, you can see he's got, you know, a lot of cool stuff up on there that, you know, shows off what he
Fallout,
which is awesome. And I mean the grenade and Zelda and all that, like really, really awesome. But do that to the rest of the wall, you know, kind of.
Those shelves are really cool though. Like he might
shadow boxes,
even be able just to do that on the other side too. Like that would be cool. Just like kind of mirroring the other side.
Make it symmetrical.
Imagine like 2 more monitors on this one. I mean, you got the 1080; it'll support it, but that would look insane.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that some people are complaining about right now. They're like, dude, like, what's the point? It's just one monitor, and you have this huge desk. And personally, like, I think it's fine. I don't really think there's an issue. I think that just kind of shows like the simplicity, but at the same time, the power behind the setup. He's got a 1080. He's got an X34. Like he's got insane equipment, but he doesn't need 50 monitors to have a great setup. And that's what I really love about this. I think it just comes to like, you know, making the wall a little bit more pretty, and that's really it. So
this would look so sweet if you just changed up, got a few more things. Like it's just empty space above. Like the desk just looks, man, that desk is just so clean.
I love it.
I honestly wish I had that desk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fact that he did it himself makes it 10 times better. But I really love it. I think it's great, and I can't wait to see an updated photo if he changes stuff up on the wall. But let's go to the next setup.
Props to him.
Oh, sorry.
Props to him, though, for his wire management. Like, he had to wire those through the wall or else down below the desk. Like, he said it himself. He custom built it just to hide those wires.
Yeah, which is awesome because, again, I always love when people do custom stuff because no one else can do exactly what he did. I mean, they could try, but they can't do it exactly. And I love it. So, all right, next setup. Yeah, 2 more to go. This one is submitted by Myth. Because why would I ever know his first name? That would make too much sense. So Myth is, let's see, he's been watching the show for a while now. He went from something that would have been on Setup Nightmares to what he has now. So that makes me happy to know that he was able to improve his setup to what it is. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any like crazy information about him. No. So taking a look at this, how old do you think he is?
I'm gonna say 20.
18.
Okay.
Yeah, so right around there. Initial thoughts. Are you a fan of it? Is there something that like immediately turns you off, or what do you think?
I don't know. I'm a stickler about my monitors lining up, and that immediately just like killed it for me. But like it still looks good. Like I like how he has the TV off to the left.
Yeah.
It looks decent. Looks decent. But
yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts is like, okay, yeah, they may not be the same monitors. Yeah, they may not be like matched up perfectly, but you know, that's a lot of screen real estate. But then I look closer and I'm like, all right, let's imagine I was sitting there and I wanted to look to the far left and click the Windows Start button in the far left corner. I think would be really not the best. I mean, think about that. That's like it's not angled in enough, and if it was, he would have to completely rotate his body. I think it's just not in a good spot. And, you know,
because those left and right ones look like they're the same.
Yeah.
So I might just scrap the middle one, put those two together. You'll save yourself like a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I'm looking at it, and I think the left and right are BenQ, if I'm not mistaken, and then the middle is HP. So it's like, I'm going to assume that BenQs are better. So why not just stake double, and if anything, put that fat bezel one right up above, like pointing down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would help.
Actually. Like the desk, you know, it goes to the L shape, but it looks like they're attached. So, looks like they're attached. So if you were to put those two BenQs together, mount the other one above, like, that would just look a lot better. But then, do you notice the speakers underneath? Like, they're like the glass ones. I've seen them before.
Yeah.
And they're hiding.
Purpose. Yeah, like why even have it at that point? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's the other thing with the way that his monitors are. He has no room to properly place his Xbox and his PS4.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's really cluttered.
He could do that. Like, he could move the Xbox to the left onto the other desk if he were to move that other BenQ over and mount the one above. Like, all of his stuff would be improved if he just got rid of that.
You cut out for a second.
Put his mic. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Say whatever you just said again.
Okay. Yeah. If he everything he could be fixed if he just got rid of that middle monitor. He can move his Xbox One over. Looks like, is his PC hiding behind that, or is that his router? His PC is underneath his feet. But honestly, I think that's the first step.
Yeah,
to make it look cooler.
I like the piano and everything. I like that you have the dedicated TV setup for console gaming, and get like a little stackable desk shelf to put the consoles on in the corner. Dedicate the corner to that. Keep the right side for just your PC, and then keep the left side for just consoles. And I think it will look great. So definitely a lot of potential.
Yeah, let's talk about like the posters. But what do you think about those though? I'm mixed. I feel like he's trying to get theme, but then those are kind of weird.
Yeah,
like if he made those, that would be sweet.
Yeah, or like he knows the artist or something. Like there's some reason behind it. I couldn't really tell because there wasn't like a far back shot that would really show off the walls all that much.
And he doesn't really have like a designated theme. Like he has this, he has a beach or a sunset, has these two girls, and then the city on his monitors. So
so we got one more setup to go. We're almost at 45 minutes, so we might be able to do this. So let's see. I think we're just about to hit 45. So still, anyways, all right. Setup submitted by Jacob. Let's see if he sent me like 30 emails, so hopefully I can find it. Okay. Love the show, mate. Just renovated the house. I painted the room recently, so I thought I'll set the room up properly. Still need a few things, but he just wants to kind of like, show it off for what it is. And he would love to get rid of the orange drawers, but due to space restrictions, they have to stay. And so how old do you think he is? I'll give you a hint. It's way older than you would say. I'm not saying he's old, just it's way older than you would expect.
Well, I'm going to say 25 then.
35. So, definitely older than a lot of people would expect. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I want to quickly point this out, and it was actually something you got confused of because I forgot to tell you. This photo, you look at it, okay, cool, triple monitors, yeah, cool, bro. And then you go to the previous and you're like, wait, is that an ultra wide in the middle? Apparently something happened. It has to get repaired. So I don't know exactly what happened to it, but just keep in mind, he usually has an ultra wide in the middle, and we saw how that looked. And I asked for like a far back shot, and that's why they were taken at different times. So taking a look at this, I mean, the day shot is kind of like, I'm not gonna say it because if I say it, then I'm gonna hurt people's feelings, but I'll say it anyway. Just know this is a joke. I don't mean like I prefer girls with no makeup anyway, but it's like here's a girl and she wakes up in the morning with no makeup. And then Tom, go to the other phone. There she is when she's ready to go out at night. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. That's why I don't have a girlfriend, because I say things like that. I'm kidding. I'm all for girls being natural. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this setup?
The one in the dark looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it in the comments. You're like, I just wanted to show like out in the light and then in the dark. Like, I looked at the dark one and I was like, oh, this looks like a before and after photo, just because like the fan moved, the ultra wide, and then it looked like there was that like wire bezeling or whatever on the wall covering it. But then I looked at the other one and then I got sad, and I just feel like, yeah, that orange cabinet's kind of killing it for me. Get rid of that dog mat underneath, or is that for your feet? I don't know. But
it's probably for his dog.
Yeah.
Like he might have like a little dog and he's like, no, the guy Pimp My Setup said I have to get rid of it. And the dog's like, no, please don't do it. Rough.
The wire management looks like he took a lot of time to like ravel them up, put them in there, but then it doesn't look like that appealing. Like, I don't know. But those monitor speakers, those are sweet. All three monitors, cool. In the one in the light, that's the camera that's dirty, right? Or is that the wall?
Yeah, I don't know if like the whole room like is like infested with dust and like all that stuff.
Snowing outside.
Yeah, it might be snowing.
Yeah.
I hope it's just a dirty lens, if anything.
Yeah, for real.
But we don't know. So
yeah. I mean, that probably lost them a few points, honestly.
Yeah, the room just looks really crowded and like, you know, I understand space restrictions and stuff, but you have I was going to also complain about the box on the left. Like, you have that box, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's Philips, and it's for one of your monitors that you had to replace. So, you know, I'm not going to be like a dick about it. But the left side, like, you have the whole Nintendo army. I think that it's a little overwhelming. But it's not awful. It's not in the way. It's personal preference. I don't really think that there's, you know, like out of sight, out of mind, yeah, it can be played with. But I think usability is there, and that's what really matters. It's good. It's nice, and I'm sure it's just gonna get better. And he said he just moved in, so
yeah,
you know,
definitely it'll improve.
Yeah, for sure. So, any final thoughts for Jacob?
Honestly, just simple stuff that we were saying. Like, I'm sure once he gets all like decluttered, like gets rid of the box, the mat underneath, and that orange cabinet, it'll look 10 times better. For sure. So, agreed. Yeah. I know everyone in the chat right now is like triggered because of the thing I said about girls, but it's just a joke, guys. I promise. But all right, let's go through the scores. First setup submitted by Michael. He got first place with a 96, which I know so many people are going to disagree with, but breaking it down category by category, it deserved it. Next up, Josh got a 37. I'm so sorry. Max got a 59. Grayson got a 71. Nathan got a 68. Joey got an 86. John got a 67. Eric got second place with a 92, which I swear he got literally wire management, out of sight, out of mind, usability 10s from both of us. And then it was accessories and theme that he just barely lost points on. Yeah. And the second he changes that wall, he's coming in for first place. For sure. Probably 10s all around.
Yeah,
honestly.
Exactly. It was hard to not give him a perfect theme score, but you know, it's right there. Eric, I'm telling you, you could have a perfect setup. Myth got an 81 and Jacob got a 57, which Jacob is another guy who can go from a 57 to a 90. No problem at all. So looking forward to seeing updates from people. Definitely, you know, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think our scoring was awful? Do you hate our guts? Let us know. And Tom, okay, there you go. He's stretching because he yawned and he puts his hand in front of the camera. That makes sense. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know if you think Tristan should be on the show again. I mean, he said something a little wrong. No, I'll just kidding.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry.
Type 111 though if you want him to come back. And I mean, personally, I like you, but I mean, you might trigger the whole internet man. I have to be careful.
I know.
Now.
I'm banned.
Banned for life.
Oh well.
There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Check them out. I'm gonna put Tristan's links down below, and that's it. Catch ya on the flippity flop.